Yo, good morning, everybody. I'm still recovering from the weekend. Had an awesome time getting to meet a lot of you guys. So I took a day off yesterday to try and recover. I somewhat have my voice back, but not 100%. But I'll do my best. What's up, Tom? Yeah, we had a really fun weekend. So I wanted to do a quick little recap of it and then play some games as we usually do on this channel. So yeah, I got to meet a lot of you. It was awesome. Tons of people that were coming up to me throughout the weekend saying they like the channel and they like what we're doing here, and that honestly like made it like totally worth it. Regardless of I would say the weekend not going quite as well as I'd hoped game wise. It was worth it to meet so many of you guys. We had a really cool meetup on Thursday night. We went to a barcade and had some beers and hung out for a bit, and then luckily I didn't have to play against any of you guys on Friday, but we did get to hang out and talk a lot. That was fun. Yeah, what's up, X the Flash? Yeah, I love this community. It's been like everybody's been so cool. Every single person I've met in person has been awesome. You know, I appreciate every time someone comes up and you know, asks to take a selfie or wants to shake hands and just you know, share the love. So anyway, I did lose my voice though. I was talking to so many of you guys this weekend, but it was worth it. Matthew Rice, what's up? yeah, that really did put a strain on my voice. By the end of it, my opponents were like, "What did you just say?" Because I was like mumbling because I could barely talk. Just at the end of Friday, and then I was at the end of Friday. I was losing my voice, and I was like, "Man, I still have 2 more days of this." Those 3-day tournaments will like really get to you. Anyway, here's a little quick report. I'm not going to like dwell on this because other people have already done the same type of video, and you guys have seen it all. So. I'm not gonna like go into like every single person's list or all the lists in the top 8. Everybody knows what was in the top 8. Everybody's already seen the Kylo list on the For the Network channel. Hopefully you guys watched last night. They did a really good recap talking about like the history of the development of the Kylo Tarkenton list that a lot of the Bothan Network players were playing this weekend, and that Ian obviously got 2nd place running. Cerberus got 4th place, and George and Ollie got in the top 12, those 2 guys. So I'm sure everybody's aware of that, and everybody's been playing against it on Karabas and Petronaki the past couple days, I'm sure. Anyway, just a quick recap. We had over 2,200 players in the main event across the first 2 days, day 1 plus the day 1 bye havers. And then in day 1 we had 1,956 players, so it was a fucking gigantic tournament. It was so big that like we had you know, like at the event total we had like I think 35 Bothan Network members, like almost everybody in the entire Bothan Network. I think we were only missing 2 people, and still there were so many people in the hall that like in between matches normally you go like meet up with your buddies, and you would like look around and just like not be able to find anybody. It was so big. But it was awesome. It was really cool. The one thing I liked about it being so big is the likelihood of having to play against your friends was low. So I got to play against a lot of new people, some really cool people too. And then in the Galactic Open on day 2, for some of us who were unfortunate enough to have to play in the Galactic Open, there's 590 players. So it was already like, just the Open was basically I don't think that's the biggest SWU tournament. I think maybe one of the regionals was bigger, like in Europe, but it was up there. It was almost as big as we've had, and that was just like a side event essentially. Tom says everybody's going to play Kylo 5 TT at upcoming PQs. That'll be pretty interesting. I would like to see what happens with those guys, because that deck is not easy to play. I considered playing it after I sort of scrubbed out in day 1. I went 4-4 in day 1, which was pretty disappointing, but I considered playing Kylo in the Open, because that was the 2nd deck I'd brought. I brought Anakin and Kylo Tarkenton, but I didn't quite feel like I had the reps on Kylo, partially because of the efforts that we kept to keep that deck so secret. We weren't able to play it online, and I wasn't able to, because of work, I wasn't able to get to the Bothan house until Wednesday, which only basically gave me like 24 hours to prep. And I just didn't really feel like I could do the deck justice with that little prep. Just not really that easy to play, especially at like a really high level. Like I'm sure I could have like scammed wins against people who just didn't know what was happening, but I thought I had a better chance playing Anakin. So this is a deck list that I played, not in day one of the main event, but this is the edit that I made for day 2 of the open. Because of the stuff with day 1 with them revealing all the deck lists, they basically had to hide all the deck lists. So after, like at the end of the event, after they accidentally revealed them, so like even now I'm not able to like go back and show my list. And since I had edited it, I don't have that list saved either. But the main difference was that in day 1 I got really punked by space decks. I didn't have any space in my main board, and I was basically banking on there being like 5% or less of this like space aggro at the tournament. I wasn't quite prepared for how many Vaders there were and how many like random space decks there were. There were like an insane amount of like Poes and like just other variations of like space aggro. So I had 4 losses on day 1, and 3 of them were to space aggro. 2 were to Vader for yellow, and 1 was to Boba Data Vault. That was another really popular deck at the event. Normally I think I beat that Boba Data Vault deck, but I just couldn't in that matchup. Like it's really important to draw Anakin and Luke, and I didn't see either unit in either of the games that I played against it, and he was able to basically close out with a Devastator for exact lethal right as I was stabilizing. So anyway, it was kind of unfortunate. One of those weekends where you're just like, sort of like drawing bad all weekend. Not really, like you need a sprinkling of luck, like even if you're a good player, and it just wasn't there for me this weekend. So it is what it is. Anyway, so the edits that I made were after seeing how much space there was in day 1, I decided that I wanted to have at least like a little bit of space in the main board. So I brought in 2 Green Squadron A-Wings and 2 Conquer Dawn Interceptors. That at least gave me a chance to mulligan for a space start if I was sat across from Vader. Obviously, it's like low percentage of getting only 4 cards in your hand, 1 of 4. But I wanted to at least have a shot. Like if I like at least give myself an opportunity to be lucky. Because I also have 2 copies of Marin who can cross lane, kill space units, and then the Force Throws and Force Lightnings are there. I also changed Entrench to Perilous Position. I thought that Entrench can sometimes be awkward against Vader 4 because if you have to entrench a unit early, and then you like say you get an opening hand where you have Entrench in your opening hand and you don't have any space, and then you like entrench one of their like first couple turn plays, and then you draw into your space after that, you're basically shut off from playing any of those cards, and it can be kind of awkward. And then they can just like overwhelming barrage off your entrenched unit and just like wipe your board. So I thought about trying Perilous Position instead of entrenched, and that ended up being a big mistake. In day 2 in the open, I went 5-4, and I think if Perilous Position was entrenched, I think I'm like 7-2 on the day. There's easily 2 matches that I lost straight up with Perilous Position in my hand that would have been wins if I had hadn't entrenched. So that was kind of rough. But sometimes make those gambles. I was kind of using the open as like a testing ground because I wanted to basically get live reps on edits like and do like a similar meta that was happening on day 1, and I didn't know if I would have another opportunity to do that. The other changes I made were let's see. I wanted to experiment with I like having like 1 X Factor card that people aren't expecting. And I was running typical villain package for Anakin with 3 Force Lightnings and 2 Power of the Dark Sides. Now I say that's typical, but you want to see the pretty deck? Yeah, I'll show you in a second. I know I say it's 3 Force Lightning and 2 Power of the Dark Sides is typical. And I don't think that that's necessarily typical for like the world, but it is typical for like how Bothan Network was running our villain packages in our like hero red blue decks. Felt like 5 villain cards was a good number. 5 villain cards basically gives you a 76% chance of drawing a villain card by 5 resource turn. So that on your Anakin deploy, you can hit for -6, either killing 2 units or, you know, just saving yourself 6 damage on base. And then, well, plus if you hit like a Kiadi or even better chances. So I felt like, you know, five villains is what I wanted. And for today, for the open, I swapped the Power of the Dark sides for I Am Your Father. My theory on that was that I Am Your Father for 5 either is going to kill something, or if they let you draw 3 cards off of it, you're basically immune to force throw for the rest of the game. You're going to like activate your force throws like to self force throw. And the tempo loss from paying 5 for that card on the 5 resource turn is gained by drawing into your Anakins and being able to -6 something the turn after. So that was my theory. It ended up working pretty well. Like I played against a couple of control decks, like a couple of Kiras, and being able like either just kill their guy, like, you know, they'd flip Kira and be able to like play I Am Your Father against her, and they have to either like let their leader die or let you draw 3 cards. And I think in one of my Kira matches, they chose both of those 2 modes in different spots, and like each time I was happy with whatever mode they chose, and it sets up my Anakins for the rest of the game. And worst case, you can just like chuck it with Marin and throw it at something and kill a 3/2 or, you know, something like that, and set up your Anakin that way. So anyway, that was my day 2 list. Those were the changes I would have made. I think Power of the Dark Side is overall more stronger, but depending on the meta, if it was like shifting into a more control focused meta, I think I Am Your Father is something to consider in that slot. But Perilous Position, I think, ended up being kind of bad. So this was my record in the Open. I don't have, like I said, the what they did with the tournament to try and close the deck list again ended up like kind of like wiping. You can't look at the like tournament path anymore on Melee, and I didn't feel like manually going back and changing it all. But like I said, I lost 4 times, 3 of which were to Space Aggro, and I honestly cannot remember the 4th loss. It was not a Space Aggro deck, but I can't remember what it was. I know I beat 2 Hantu Blues, and I beat like a 2 or 3 Kiras, I think, in day 1. Basically, I beat all the mid-range and aggro matchups in day 1, and I just lost to Space. So yeah, so day 2 in the Open, beat a Poe security complex in round 1. It was a pretty close match. It came down to like the last action, but I was happy with the changes I made, and they definitely helped me in that matchup. The one thing that didn't happen to me in day 1 was I never drew any of my Jedi Starfighters the entire day. Just never saw them ever in my hand once. And I drew Jedi Starfighters in this matchup, and it ended up being really massive. I also never drew Marin at all in day 1, and Marin also was really big in this matchup. Being able to play a ground unit that can also kill space units was just like huge. Game 2, I was playing against another sort of boogeyman deck for me, which is Sabine. I have a really positive win rate into Sabine in tournaments, both when playing with Rey and with playing other sort of blue-red hero decks like Anakin. I probably have like a 65 or 70% win rate into Sabine in tournament play, but for some reason the losses like just like are so huge. Like they're just like they sting so much worse. So for some reason, whenever I sit up across from a Sabine, I just feel like I have to get lucky to win. And I like hate that feeling. But anyway, I won this matchup 2-1. I don't really remember it being like remarkable. I think like pretty much he won like when he had initiative. But there was nothing, I don't really remember anything special. So round 3, I play against another Boba Data Vault, and like I'd said, I'd lost to a Boba Data Vault in day 1, but I felt like generally I'm pretty favored into that deck, both with like the healing that's in the deck, really good removal. Like Force Lightning is really good against Boba Data Vault because they play a lot of units that are just get like wiped out by Force Lightning. Like they play like the droid ship, the like 4/2 that does indirect when it dies, and you can just pay 4 and just kill it and not take any damage, which is really good. Also, like if I get any spaceship on turn 1, I can kill, like if they start with bomber, I can kill it without taking any damage back. Well, I take the 2 damage from activating Anakin ability, but I don't take any damage from their unit, which is good. Anyway, that was a fairly easy match. Then I played against a Poe ECL and lost 2-0. This was basically, the Poe ECL deck is like kind of interesting because it's a space aggro deck that just pivots to ground aggro deck like in the mid game. So it's kind of hard to resource against because you have to anticipate that lane switch is going to happen, and if you guess wrong and they don't lane switch, or if they, you know, like it's just sometimes difficult to resource because like they start early, like turns 1 and turn 2 with like playing all space, and you're trying to like answer them in space, and then if you are cheat and don't like keep like ground sentinels, like thinking it's just you're playing just against a space deck, it can be really tough because they just pivot on their flip turn and just deploy Poe to the ground, then just hit you with like a Poe, Wrecker, etc. And that's basically what happened in this game. Is they just hit me like with Poe, like K2, Poe flip, Wrecker, yeah, Poe leader, flip on the ground, K2, Poe ECL, Wrecker, you know, all that stuff like on curve. It was pretty tough. So they just basically, I got Sabined by the Poe. Then so I'm 3-1 after that. I go into a Kira Data Vault. Like I said, I'd beaten like 3 Kiras I think already in the tournament. I felt pretty good in the matchup. It ended up going to game 3, and I believe his name was Caleb. Caleb from Colorado Cantina Crew was a really nice guy, really good player. We ended up going to game 3, and in game 3, I was I told this story a million times the weekend, but it was just like such a crazy game. He played 3 Super Laser Blasts that he hit like all on the top half of his deck, and then he played 3 Green Devastators, and also Palps returned 3 Green Devastators against me. So he played 6 Devastators total, plus 3 Super Laser Blasts, and he was able to like grind it out with that. It was still like really close. I was like, I think without the like 6th Devastator, I think I win that game. So, but man, he got there. That was a really fun match. Then I play against Akira. I 2-0 the Kira ECL. I don't think that your ECL version of Kira is very good. He was a decent player, but like that ECL just doesn't have the juice of the Data Vault, with being like literally the Data Vault deck just being able to have like that much top end that they can just draw into is like definitely a difference maker. Lost the Cad Bane match. Game 2 was my only like sort of non-game of the tournament. One of the things I really love about Star Wars Unlimited is that it's pretty rare that you have a game that's a non-game, unlike in like Magic where you have like a decent percentage chance that you're gonna like get mana flooded or mana screwed at some point, either you or your opponent. It just happens like all the time. In this game, it just seems really rare, especially if you have a well-constructed deck. But I won game 1. Game 2, I just had no turn 1 or turn 2 play and mulliganed into a hand that had a Adigalia, and then I didn't have any other units to play until like the 5 resource turn, and didn't draw anything, and he was just able to like keep ambushing into anything I played and keep me off of it. And game 3 was pretty close, but he had like, I think he drew like every ambusher in his deck in game 3, and if Cad Bane does that, it's really tough as the force deck, because you can't ever attack with a guy. Then I played a Palp Colossus, and Palpatine Colossus is like in a really tough spot right now. I think there's just so much discard. I don't know how you play that deck. Like I just like pillage him. Like the nice thing with Anakin is like you can activate Anakin to like kill their guys. So I think I started with like a Sabine, and he starts with Dr. Pershing, and I can just activate Anakin and just do 5 damage to his Pershing. He played back-to-back Pershings and wasn't able to draw a card off of them, because he plays a second Pershing and I just claim without playing a unit and kill it. And then on the 4 resource turn I pillage him, and then the 5 resource turn I like force throw him. Like he was just never able to do anything. Pillage and force throw are just like so brutal against that deck. And then the last match was against a Darth Vader Force Shield Generator. It's a pretty interesting deck. Um, I think if I draw average, I probably beat them, but I never saw a Jedi Starfighter, and he was just able to spam like a million 1/1s and then start putting like Iden Pilot on stuff, and it was it was an interesting deck. I think it's kind of a worse version of Vader 4 Yellow, but because it has like a slightly different angle of attack, like it probably gets around some of the tricks that people are using to beat the Vader 4 Yellow. The shield, like playing like the Iden Pilot and like shielding things is like kind of interesting way to combat like a lot of the removal that people are playing against Vader. Like open fire is basically offline, so that was cool. But yeah, so I lost that one 2-0, ended up 5-4. A little bit disappointing, but you know, that was what happened. Definitely have to be a lot more respectful of space decks because they are out there, people. So I was trying not to get down on myself. You know, you have to kind of like when you have an event like that where it doesn't, you know, I really would have liked to have made day 2. Really would have liked to have top cut the open, but didn't happen. But I think it was really like the deck is good. I think I played pretty well. I think there's maybe a couple of mistakes, but nothing too egregious. I overall did well. Just kind of a few more good draws and maybe a few more of my opponent not top decking the right card at the right time, and I think it's a different tournament for me. Really, the main takeaway was like I think the removal package needs to be adjusted a little bit. So I did make some edits to the deck. But I think it's just kind of on the margins. Like I think the deck core is very good. It's just a matter of tuning to the meta, which is kind of hard to do like that early. When there's just so many different decks, it's very, very difficult to build a deck that could have even matchups in everything and be balanced. But like I said before, it was an awesome weekend. We had almost the entire crew there. There was so much cool stuff to see, like the life-size TIE fighter. And it's hard to see, but in the background over here, they had like autographs from a bunch of either actors from the Star Wars, or like I think they had like Moff Gideon signed it. A bunch of people signed it. It was really cool. Dave Filoni had autographed it, so this was like an actual real prop. It wasn't just like just for show here. But yeah, the whole crew. And here's another pic of us, the crew gathered around Ian. What's up, Lego Pizza? See your there. Remember this? Remember this moment? This was so fun. Ian celebrating with his finalist mat and his plaque. Awesome time. So anyway, that was the event. This is what I am working with now. After making a couple edits. Let's see. I think, let's see, once we pull this up. Yeah, the TIE Fighter was awesome. Having R2-D2 rolling around was cool too. So I think the changes that I made, I brought Cheer It back into the main deck. I went back to the Power of the Dark Sides. I squeezed, instead of having the A-Wings and the Conquer Dons, I squeezed the Starfighters back into the main board with a red 5. And then I went back to the Entrenched instead of Perilous Position. And then I want to put Evidence of the Crime in the sideboard because there are a lot of decks that are like going to beat you by playing like a turn 2 Fallen Lightsaber. Kylo Tarkatan deck is one of them, but there's like a lot of like there's a lot of Fallen Lightsabers out there. So being able to grab one of those off people is pretty good. So I just wanted to try it. What's up, Kels? Yeah, it was great meeting you. Everybody there was so cool. I was so happy to meet so many subscribers. Awesome time. I also went back to bombing run in the main or in the sideboard. I don't know. I still don't know if it's better to have bombing runs or just have more like ships. Like these bombing runs could easily just be like A-Wings or something, but I'm not sure. It's gonna take some more testing. Anyway, I figured play some games. After all that talking, I'm going to play best of 3 against Luke Datavolt. Let's try it. Yeah, it felt so long. When we were in the open and it was like round 7 and you're like, I like was like going to the bathroom after round 7, and I was like, damn, there are like 2 more rounds left. And I've played in like 9-round tournaments before, but for some reason, like after all that, it was kind of tough. After a long day 1, and just like traveling there, and drinking and doing all that stuff, it like by Saturday it just wiped out. I don't know how people like Ian did, like got through Sunday. Gotta work, Ian. Love you too. Yeah, I medium crushed it. How about that? What's next for Stubbs after having to be dark for a while? Good question. Okay, this is a pretty bad hand. So I have 11 turn 1 ground units. So this play is playing the 25.4 space. Interesting. Itinerant Warrior was like all-star all weekend. Yes. Oh man, we got so lucky that he started space. We were like kind of screwed there if he didn't start space. Open Fire was a card I was kind of going back and forth against because I played a oh, you know, I just remembered that the other deck I lost to in day 1, it was a Gar Saxon deck. And I played against a lot of decks that were like shielding guys a lot. And I felt like Open Fire was a little weak against those decks. I was, like I said before, the difficulty right now in the meta is that there's so many different decks and people are trying to come at you from so many different angles that having a good removal mix that actually like kills the stuff you want to kill is like really, really challenging. All right, let's see. So if I attack him and kill him, I bet you he goes to base. I power the dark side. I feel pretty good about that. Question is if do I kill Quinlan, right? So I don't care if he exhausts my Starfighter. Let's see if we're lagged. While we wait for this guy, somebody has to see the deck. So I went through and I was trying to completely bling out the deck as much as I could. So I had 100% hyperspace foil or prestige foil. I got multiples of the SWU Galactic card, which is really cool looking. And then I had a complete playset of serialized Adigalias in the deck. And I had 2 out of 3 of serialized Kiadi-Mundis in the deck. So I had 5 serials. It was really cool. I would play like an Adigalia, and my opponent would be like, "Oh, nice serial," and then I would they would kill it, and then I just play another one. It was so much fun. It was expensive, but it was worth it. Stefan, you can ask whatever you want. We're in the tree of trust here. Yeah, I almost got the complete Kiadi set. Somebody was going to sell me another one, and I couldn't link up with them. Adigalia. So I used to be like somewhat low on Adigalia. Like I felt like in this sort of deck where you're not really like trying to like push damage that much like early, that it would be a little underwhelming. I felt like her ability was like somewhat like lore text, like what I call it, like where it's yeah, actually, yeah, I want to deploy. I want to see if I can get a force token again. But the sort of passive ping damage ended up actually being really good. There was like a few control matchups where I'm pretty sure I only had lethal because of the... Wait, oh, I didn't mean to do that. What happened? I didn't realize that he was using leader ability, and I thought that I attacked there. Yeah, the sort of passive 1 damage ping ended up adding up to where I think there was one point where my opponent, like, I had like Addy, Gallia, and a Crate Dragon out, and because of the 2 pings, they couldn't do anything without dying. Like, I think they had like 4 health remaining on their base, and like so they couldn't play like Power of the Dark Side without, you know, it just like puts them in a jam, like where like any card they play kills them. That was sort of like chip damage. Stefan says, I only know MTG, so you can play on offline. What's the goal of this game? Something like draft. How long is an average game? So you can play, there are ways to play. This is a card game just like MTG, but this is a digital client. It's like a third-party unauthorized digital client that I'm playing right here. And so you can play offline, like in person with your friends, like in a shop, just like any other CCG. Or you can play online on this client here. Other than that, it's very similar to like Magic the Gathering. There's limited formats. There's drafts. There's the average games are similar to Magic. Like maybe the games are a little bit longer. Like matches are 55 minutes for a 3-game match. It's pretty standard for most card games that I've played. But yeah, there's the draft. There's sealed and draft, and they're actually quite good in this game. They've done a very good job of designing the game for those formats. He see, look, not that I didn't already have lethal, but he took lethal damage from the Adigalia. Yeah, the Adigalia looks sick in Prestige. The treatment is like really awesome with like the little like circles and stuff around them. Yeah, Stefan, I highly recommend it. If you're a Star Wars fan or even just like a card game fan in general, it's a very, very well designed game. One of the main differences from Magic the Gathering is that there's no lands. You basically just have all your cards can be put into play as a resource. So like any card is a land, essentially. This hand is sort of mediocre, but I'm not going to mulligan. So you draw 6 cards, and then you can choose, in turn 1, you choose 2 cards to resource. So you start with 2 mana, basically, and then every turn after that, you draw 2 cards, and you pick 1 card from your hand to put into play as a resource. So because of that, it leads to some really interesting decisions where you have to choose cards that you, like in this case, I had to resource this card, which is one of the best cards in the game, but it costs 7, so I'm not going to be able to use it for a while. So I'm hoping that I draw another one by the time I'm at 7 resources. This is one of the interesting things with this deck is when you have like multiple 2-drops, trying to figure out which was the right 2-drop for the situation. All right, we drew another Luke. That's good. Now, do we want Adi Gallia or Yaddle? I think I want Adi Gallia against a 25-point base. Even if I do a couple damage, it might be worth it. So with Anakin, I generally want to be playing my unit before attacking, so that I have a unit up to kill whatever he plays. I could just claim and try and top deck a Force Lightning, but I don't want to risk that, so I'm just going to attack. If I top deck a Force Lightning, I'll feel bad. He still had a Rummage anyway, so I still get initiative. No Force Lightning. Drive to Gen Con. And I wish I was going, but to be honest, I'm so goddamn tired right now. Like, I can't imagine doing another convention like less than a week. What's up, JPC? They're not banning Force Throw. It is totally fine. The difference between, I was telling people this weekend, like, the difference between a meta right now where, like, you know, 55 or 57% of the decks had Force Throw in them versus, like, Django meta is that in that meta, the OP cards all made everybody play the same deck. There weren't like 17 different decks that were playing Triple Dark Raid. There was one Triple Dark Raid deck. There was one War Juggernaut deck. Like 57% of the meta played Force Throw, but those were across like 50 different decks. Like it's, I think that Force Throw is enabling more decks than it's crowding out. If that makes sense. Yeah, having good cards is good. Like if people don't want to play with good cards, just play limited. Seriously. You'll be so much happier. Everybody can play like generic like 1/4s and 3/5s and stuff that don't do anything, and you'll be so happy. You'll never have to play against anything OP. Like you'll play a whole tournament without having to play against an OP card. It'll be fun. Do I naked Force Throw here? I think I do, because I'm probably not going to Force Throw in the next 2 turns anyway. So I'd rather just limit his options. Like one of these 3 cards is like, yeah, so lose the Constructed Saber. So now I'm either like limiting his chances of being able to cycle or just play it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Force Lightning is arguably more busted. No villainy. Make him a 4/6. It's probably fine, right? I think I just claim. No, I can't. I have to do damage to him now, so that I can kill him next turn. Yeah, no blue hero legendary. It's wild. I talked to one of the designers on the weekend. I talked to a few of them over the course of the weekend. Had a conversation with Tyler Parrott, had a conversation with Ryan Serrano, and I told them that they need to make blue hero legendaries, or Luke is going to rotate out, and we will be starving, and blue hero will not be in a deck that anybody plays. I said it was very important, so hopefully they listen to me. I just claim and fell the dragon, right? So he's going to be +1, 5. What do we think this card is? Do we think it's good enough? This is risky. Gamble. Didn't get there. At least we trade. The PQs that are limited are the ones that are have an asterisk next to them. If you look at the list. Purgle, what the hell? Okay. Power of the Dark Side's good. Also, when I was talking to Tyler Parrott, I did not get the impression that 4-star was getting banned. I made sure to tell him that I thought it's fine. Maybe I got through. Enish doesn't want to play against me. Come on, Enish. Why are you dodging me? I think I know who that is. The 10 resource play if it's a Purgle? Yeah, probably. Okay, we're playing against Not Christ. That's just really suspicious to me. If someone says they're not Christ, it actually makes you think that they might be, right? Why would they say they're not if they weren't? Sea Shanty 3 from Osiris? That's I don't know. I'm male, so I've never played that game. Playing that game is female traits. I think I can say that. I wouldn't know where to find that song. Do I want a mulligan? I don't know. I feel like power's bad against this deck. I'm gonna not mulligan, and I'm gonna keep lightning instead of power. Imagine I get blown out by... If I get blown out by this, I'll feel bad for sure. These are the kind of decks... Like, I didn't see this particular deck there at the tournament, but like, so many people were playing like weird jank. It was so hard to play into the like field because you did not know what you're gonna see. I was gonna ask you guys, is my audio okay? Like, how's the volume? Because I like the last time I streamed, I tried to like watch playback, and it was all my volume on my mic was like way too low. You've never played it? Likely story. All right. Thank you. Sorry, I need you guys to do my this is a one-man crew here. I need you guys to let me know. If I ever start playing and things are messed up, do not hesitate to tell me, because I get really annoyed if I like check playback on something and it sucks. Working in television makes me very particular. Yeah, Kells, that's how it was exactly. Like it was just, there was just so much jank. Yeah, they played Ray 5. I saw that. I thought they did like okay, right? Realm of the Mad God. Yeah, I know like one person who plays that. Should I just claim and kill Grievous here? Just claim, kill Grievous, and then drop like 2/2 drops? I think I do. Paz Vizsla making day 3. I don't think that you can do really well in a tournament that size without getting lucky to some extent. Like, you just need a certain amount of stuff to go your way no matter what. Like, even if you're the best player in the world, like, you cannot, like, the best player in the world, like, puts themselves in a position to succeed. Like, that's why you still see, like, Wu at the top cut, like, of every tournament he's in, like, Ian at the top cut of every tournament they're in. Like, there are people who are just always there, but to actually, like, win, you need breaks. Like, you're gonna need, like you make a mistake and you don't get punished for it type of thing, right? Like, it just has to happen. I don't think there's any other way. Maybe I should have Force Lightning first. Alright, so he's just playing at 3/6? That seems bad. Enigma, what's up? New subscriber, thank you. I'm gonna claim. Alright, I'm just gonna slam the Anakin. Make this guy small. If he attacks and makes a droid, I'm okay with it. I'll kill this guy before he can do an exploit. That's fine. I was gonna kill that droid anyway. Oh, did we hit 500? Holy shit. Thanks for letting me know. Enigma, 500th follower. Thank you so much. That made me very happy, Enigma. We finally did it. We goddamn did it. Oh yeah, you took Luke Tarkentown? Nice. Hopefully it did okay for you. I was not ballsy enough to take Luke. Although with that meta, like Luke might not have been that bad of a call. I think we just kill other guys. Kill whatever he plays. Oh, he's got nothing. 5 and 3. Turn 2 brick against Tiles and Yellow and get 3. 5 and 3 with Luke is awesome. I would not be mad about that at all. It is I don't think it's a bad deck. Dude, he just smoked me with the Fine Edition. He must feel so good about that right now. Oh, I didn't see that. I don't go on Reddit, so I didn't see it, but that's awesome. I'll have to check that out. Thanks, Anthony. That was great talking to you. And Copycat. Super cool to meet you guys. I just slam crate. I think I do. Yeah, Jesse, that's pretty solid. I mean, if you're getting 70%, you can't, like... I think Poe ECL is like a real deck. I don't think it's like a meme or anything. I lost a one. I think Enigma is just Enigma 4K. I think he's samesies. That I know I've played against you online. I know I've seen you with that handle. All right, I'm pretty sure we just win here. Curtis, yo. All right, we didn't lose to the Grievous deck. We have a mirror match here. Try this. One Bamboozle main. That's probably not a bad idea. Although, don't you have better ways of what are you trying to deal with the Bamboozle? I feel like if you're in red, you have better upgrade answers than Bamboozle. Yeah, they were not ready. I'll play against this. The Thrawn, I don't know how good this matchup's gonna be. I usually beat the blue-green, but Thrawn, like if they have like some weird builds where they just spit out 1,000,000 units, it's hard to deal with. Sabine, I like to see that. Luke 4 Tarkentown is like literally the most fun deck. Yeah, you just play like Power Failure or something instead of Bamboozle, I think. Look at that. Sabine against so many decks is just the best card. One thing I like about having Anakin in the deck is that you can resource Luke and not feel too bad about it. My strategy against blue-green villain is keep him from drawing cards off Pershing. Go wide as possible. It really depends on the leader, but you're pretty much just like, you just try and like flood the board, and like most of their removal is 1-1 with a few exceptions, so you're just trying to make it really hard for them to like pick off all your guys. And with Anakin, you can like do a lot of damage with like weenies. So you just like exploit that. Do I care about... Let's play Sage. The one downside of having the Sabine run start is that we don't have the Force right now. Passed. Okay. Pass. I'll draw a bunch of cards, I guess. What does he have that he's not playing in his hand? Did he just draw like really bad? Yeah, Jesse's a Poe ECL lover. She absolutely smoked me last week on that deck. I think what I do here is Force Lightning. Shut off his ability. Question is, do I just do it for 2? I think I do it for 2 so I can still play a Starfighter. Yeah, people trying to confiscate your Luke is very funny. I will let you not spend 6 resources, and maybe he got away with cheating there and not he didn't have a play. Maybe he only had like a 7 resource play there. And he got away with it, but I spent 6 resources and he hadn't spent any, so I think I just gotta go to the next turn. Yeah, no glorying a stolen hauler is pretty rough, right? I think I don't flip going into 8 resource turn. I think I'm gonna wait until SLB and flip after SLB. I think the way with Poe ECL though, you just beat Luke by not giving him anything to flip onto though, right? This is when I wish this was an A-Wing. What's up, Michael? Sorry you couldn't come to the bar on Thursday. We missed you. Now he's gonna blast me. Rivals fall? Ooh. Okay. I think we just start firing away now. I'm gonna try and just do 2 more to my base. So get 5 more damage in. See if he draws the board wipe now. I don't think I need to go to 10. Okay, we win. Yeah, I think Anakin has a really, really good matchup in an all blue-green villain in general. I mean, we're playing against like off-meta blue-green villains these couple games, but the decks usually aren't that much different. You just have like really efficient ways to deal with their guys. Like there, I just killed a reinforcement walker without having to use any removal. It's usually how it goes. Like you just get like kill their stuff for really cheap or free, and they have to use removal on your guys, and they can only kill like one thing a turn. So you just play 2 things a turn, and just overwhelm them. Yeah, I'm gonna get maybe $10 a month from YouTube now. It's gonna put me over the top. I think I want to keep these cards. That's why. What's up, Travi? It was really good to meet you this weekend. I was talking about how much fun we had. There was like met so many cool people. The only downside of the event, and I didn't bring this up in my recap, was the side event fiasco. That really sucked, but everything else was fun. The side events were ass. The whole setup. Their logistics at Fantasy Flight Games are just like ridiculously bad. The crazy thing is like there are things about the prize wall that were awesome. The actual stuff that was available on the prize wall was really cool. Like I like that it wasn't just mats, like that you could buy singles. I like that you had the option of buying like silver packs, like that. I thought that was like really fun. And it was just like a letdown that the actual side events themselves were lame. As far as like the taking hours to sign up for them on days 1 and 2, like the fact that like the only efficient way to get tickets was to scam, like all that kind of stuff was really lame. But the actual like stuff from the prize wall was fun. I just like wish that it was set up a little bit better. The fact that like people that were playing in the like that if you played in the events themselves, you got like screwed over, like really sucks. Like I played in the in day 1 main event, and then I played in the whatchamacallit, in the open in day 2, and because of that, like everybody else and their mom was able to get like a bunch of I don't mean to throw myself. Everyone and their mom was able to get like 7,000 tickets day 1, except for the people that actually had to play in the event. And I think that playing in the main event or the open should get you more tickets than people playing in side events, not less. Like I think after playing in the main event and the open in day 2, I think I had like 3,100 tickets or something like that total. Whereas like people who farmed on day 1 and basically like cheated the system, which is fine. I don't like, they should do that. I think you should like feel free to exploit like their bad system as much as you want. But the people who like basically did the side event like scam ended up with like 7,000 tickets on day 1, which is like more than anyone who played in the events would actually be able to make like the entire time. And that is kind of lame in my opinion. Yeah, main event should absolutely. I think even if you like don't do that well, I think if you just play the whole day, like I think you should also get tickets for losses in the main event. Like I think every round you should just get like a certain amount just for playing in the event, just to encourage people to continue playing. I think that would be better, but what do I know? Do I just kill Iden here? Or did I do... I think I kill Iden. Enigma said, because I played in day one in the open, I had to grind so hard and did get to showcase number of tickets till Sunday, and then that Sunday prize wall fiasco happened. Yeah, exactly. Like, I luckily had a lot of friends there. So I was able to, on Sunday morning, in order to get my showcases, I had to go to my friends who had been able to like scam a bunch of tickets and say, hey, can I get a bunch of tickets from you so I can go buy the showcases first thing in the morning on Sunday? I went and sat in the line for about like an hour and a half, I think, and then was able to get a few tickets. But like basically, yeah, I had to like borrow tickets from Ian. I had to borrow tickets from like other people. So I had like 5,000 tickets. Went and got my the showcases that I wanted, and then had to go like do like a side event scam to like get the tickets to like pay back the guys who had like given them to me. It was just like not cool. Like it was like lame that you had to do that in order to like get your like the stuff that you wanted, because if I hadn't done that, I would have just not gotten I would have just not been able to get the showcases. Yeah, like, yeah, 7,100 tickets after day 2 event was over. Yeah, it comes Sunday. Like, so I even like by the time I was there on Sunday, like I was able to get, like I got the showcases, but if I had wanted like any of the other cards, I wouldn't have been able to get them. If I wanted like any of the singles, like Chewbacca or whatever, like the single cards, they were not available. Luckily, I heard through the grapevine that they were like running low on the Super Laser Blast. So on day 1, I just went and like got Super Laser Blast real quick because I had like the 500 tickets from like participation, and then I like borrowed 100 tickets from a friend. But if it weren't for that, I would have just been like totally screwed, because the Super Laser Blasts were really cool and they were all like, those were like selling out, because they also had no way to limit people from getting multiples. So there were people who were getting like 3 play sets of Super Laser, or 3 play sets of showcases, multiple play sets of Super Laser Blasts, and like, I don't know, it was kind of lame. The scam was basically like, you go and you sign up for a side event, and then you sit down at a table and just don't play in the side event, essentially. And that's what people were doing. We were just like signing up. You just had to like sign up for like, you would get a group of people, whether you had like 8 people or 3 or 4 people for like Twin Suns, and you would just like sign up for an event, go sit down, sit there for 10 minutes until the judge walked away, and then turn in your bracket pretending like you played. And if you didn't do that, you essentially would not get enough tickets to get like the cards. And then they also, yeah, on day 3, they let you just trade in your event tickets for sidewall tickets. So people were just like buying side event tickets with cash, and then just exchanging them for prize wall tickets, and then just buying up all the stuff. Yeah, and some of the judges were letting people sign up for multiple events at once. So, I mean, all they had to do was just make it so that you, like, if they just made it so that the showcases and like were 1 per person, and you couldn't get more than a playset of each individual card, it would have been fine, because there wouldn't have been like, people wouldn't have felt the need to like have to do that kind of stuff to be able to get all their stuff. But you know, that's where we were. That was how they decided to run their event, and unfortunately, that was like it kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And what otherwise was a pretty well run event. There were some other problems with like the VIPs not really getting good value for their money for being a VIP. But other than that, like, there were a lot of I would say that there were more positives than negatives from the event. I thought they did a good job, and I think if they actually like take lessons from the event and are honest with themselves about what they think they did wrong, then next year will be even better. Yeah, only VIPs could exchange tickets, but like, who doesn't? Like, you could just be like, hey, you have a VIP badge, can you trade tickets in for me? And then, you know, it wasn't really like hard. It's not hard to find someone who's a VIP to do that for you. Yeah, yeah. At least they made that they made this the separate line, and they held back product for people who were playing in one of the events over day 3, because if they hadn't done that, there would have been a fucking riot. Like, if you were playing all the way up until day 3 and playing in day 3 meant that you were not able to get prize wall at all because everything was sold out by the time the event actually finished, like, people would have burned the building down. Yeah, Manumitter, thanks for doing that, because like I mean, they respectfully need to like get an earful about some of that type of stuff, and that's like stuff that, like, if they were experienced at event organizing, they would have been able to anticipate those type of problems. But alas, they did not. Yeah, a lot of it was like just staffing issues, right? Like, another Jedi Starfighter off the Cartel Spacer draw. You'll love to see that. Yeah, put it this way, Enigma, if I hadn't gotten my showcase on day 3, I would have participated in a mini riot for sure. Do I somehow? I think I played 2 drops instead of the 5 or the 4 drop. Sabine the bot, yeah. The Sabine the bot that only ended up with one turn 1 play is pretty crazy. Yeah, Brian, that's, I think a lot of people had that experience. I think I resourced the Force Lightning. I think I should have kept it in case he plays K2SO. Alright, no punish. I did take 1 damage off the Audi though. Nick and Cars HQ are the best. That store kills it consistently. They support this game so well. I'm so like proud of having them as like my local. It's like, it's crazy how like well they support the game. Like just through having well-run events, because Nick is in charge of running all the events, whether it's through having good prizing for events, you name it, like they just kill it like consistently top to bottom. Like, it's just so awesome to like that is like having that as my local store is really cool. Yeah, David, I would be pissed about that too. The only one who's allowed to get away with doing that is Ian because they gave him like 1 billion promos for getting second place. You guys should see the spread that Ian got. They took care of him. Him and Beton got like awesome amount of prize wall stuff for getting first and second. They definitely walked away happy. Yeah, you definitely have to support those support Cards HQ because they. Ooh, I got so lucky. He didn't have it. Yeah, support them because they're doing a really good job of supporting us. Luke, Lake Country, do you guys want to check out what's going on with this deck? Yeah, Michael, he posted them. It's probably in like the Bothan Network Discord. Let me see if I can bring it up. Photo album. I'll see if he posted his haul because it was insane. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't post it in the public, so I'm not going to post it because I don't want to post something that he didn't put public. But it was basically like a shitload. He got like multiple sets of showcases. He got like play sets of like every card. This is kind of a weird hand. I don't know if it's good enough. I think I'm mulligan. I think I resourced the 4-drop. I have a lot of 4-drops. Probably draw into some more. Do I want the PoE link to try? I do. But I'm probably not going to be playing very much longer today because I'm running out of gas. I'm still like, I don't know if it's just like picked up something at the tournament or what, but I'm like running on fumes. All right. Like, I think I have like a couple more games left in me. Adding super chats. I don't know. Am I able to do that now? Maybe. I'll have to check it out now that I got 500 subs, see what unlocks for my account. Yeah. I like felt like I was losing my voice. I don't know if I like actually like lost my voice from speaking or whether I lost my voice from being sick. Now I'd rather Jedi Starfighter, of course. So if I Kiadi here, next turn I can Force Lightning, Red 5, and then the turn after that I can Anakin, kill 2 things. Or Jedi Starfighter just like... Maybe I'm just Jedi Starfighter. Singing at the Backstreet Boys concert? Yeah. That looked like those people were having a good time. So I basically put the Jedi Starfighter that he's gonna like do that. So the Jedi Starfighter was like paying 2 to restore 4 there. Yeah, thanks. I'll give it a shot. Now, question is, I think I put one here. Cassian, nice. All right. So we can kill 2 guys. Kill that, kill that. So he's gonna put 6. Got a lot of damage. Trying to think. I think I attack with leader. I think I actually have to kill. Hope I get lucky and draw no force lightning. Good game. Stay on target and daring raid. You got me. Like I said, very weak to space, this deck. If I don't draw the Jedi Starfighter turn 1, it's a little tough. I'll do, okay, last one. See if this guy, oh, this is the guy who was dodging me before. I'll rematch against the, Alright, last game. I'm going to call it a day after this.
I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, Jesse, I can't believe they're going to do another event already. That's pretty nuts. Alright, we got turn 1 Jedi Starfighter and an open fire. Those are good cards. No force unit though. But rivals, no mulligan. So I think I have to... In case I wanted to play him. So, because a lot of you don't always like keeping Cassian in hand if you don't have a turn 2 play is good. Because I can always just resource him now. You don't want to just get caught with like nothing to do. I'm going to use my ability a lot, which isn't great. So can do 3 damage on attack. I think I don't put any on Anakin. Now I can put a couple on Anakin. He's doing my tricks against me. He's not allowed to K-turn me. It's against the rules. Three, 4 damage. I died of most stuff, but I have to kill Luke. If I had a Force Throw, I'd be pretty good right now. Yeah, I don't have any way to win. Yeah, very weak to space, this deck. That's the downside for sure. I have to work on the deck to figure out. I mean, obviously, like you look at in a best of 3, that's like where we do better. I mean, 3 bombing runs coming in and extra rivals coming in. Pillage is really good against that deck. Pretty much everything in here is good against that deck, and that's all coming in. But yeah, game 1 pretty rough. I think you really need to get like, really need the turn 1 Starfighter. His turn 2 Cassian kind of tripped me up, so I had to activate a lot more than I wanted to. But yeah, you see, I think it did, like, it's as you saw, like it did well against the decks that it's designed to beat, which is the mid range and control decks, and it totally craps out against the space aggro. So I have to figure that out, and that is like proving to be like a little bit difficult. The problem is, like, there are just so many good cards that you want to play. You want to play like all the itinerant warriors, you want to play like the chariots and Kiatis, and those take up like massive amounts of deck space. The power of the dark sides and force lightnings take up a lot of deck space. So like in that game right there, like if I draw like Anakin in that turn, I wipe his board, but didn't draw the Anakin. So if I'd been able to play like Anakin on 6 resource turn into like Rival's Fall in the next turn, I've been good. The K-turn totally caught me though. Like, I mean, I don't think I could have played around that, because if I like pass there, he just like claims and just like does 1,000,000 damage to me the next turn. Anyway, so I think probably need to do is like find more room for space in the deck, but I don't know where to make the room, to be honest. Something's got to give. It's possible that it's like losing the crates from the main board. Maybe that's the answer. It's like losing crates or chariots or something like that from the main board to make room for space, and you'll just be weak game 1 against control decks and the mirrors. But what are you gonna do? So anyway, thanks for coming out. Thanks for the 500 subs. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to hanging out with you guys again soon.